brought Crossway. We were starting the plans of Crossway Community Church. We were really intentional, saying we don't want to merge. We really want to replant. We want to start something new, not just continue old legacies. And we got really excited about our plan, and we said, if we're going to replant, we should send Tommy to the Discovery Center. And at the Discovery Center, I went through our plan, real excited about it. I love being assessed. It's great. And at the end of it, we got a yellow light. And JD sat down and he goes, "You're a great guy. We're excited about what's happening in Fallbrook. You are merging a church. That's what you're doing right now. And you're going to hit these hiccups." And so he sat down, he kind of walked me through some key things to worry about. But what really helped, he goes, "We've got guys who've done what you've done before. We've got guys in the community, in the network, who have brought churches together and replanted. We have coaches who have merged churches." And so I got paired with some really great guys. Brian Berman is my church planting coach, and it was great. About 6 months in, we were having all these hiccups, and I'm stressing out, I'm losing my mind, and I go, "Brian, what do I do? I kind of want to throw in the towel." And he was like, "Oh no, you're right on schedule. This is what happens in mergers. If you do X, Y, and Z, if you work through this, let me ask you some questions, let me probe a bit." And from that meeting, I was able to redirect where we were going, make some key kind of adjustments in my own leadership. And so his coaching helped. We put together a advisory board, a group of outside leaders who could speak into what we're doing. Two of them, Chris Hall and Kyle Bonenberger, have been able to say, "That's so good. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? You're doing things okay." Which is reassuring when you're in the midst of it, saying, "I'm not alone." And there's people who've gone ahead and done this before. And Doug Mai serves on that board as well. And there was a moment where he looked at me and goes, "Tommy, you have 5 pages of strategy here. Can you draw it on 1 page? Don't write it out, just draw it out." Which just, when I did that exercise, and I took it to my board, we went from exhausted and tired and confused to understanding and excited and engaged in mission. And now we know what we're doing as a church. We know what we want to be. And so the greatest thing about being part of TM, the way TM's helped Crossway and me in particular, is in relationship. And coming and being with other planters at events, and our kids meeting, and knowing that our kids are not alone, our spouses are not alone, and that we're not alone, and that we have people who are ahead of us and beside us, walking with us and pointing us to Jesus and His kingdom. And so, love TM. Thank you guys for all that you do for your churches.
Yeah, we as church planters truly believe that some of the best work that we can do is to support church planters and to see the kingdom expand into new territory. And that is the best way to reach new people for Christ, is by starting new churches. And we've seen that to be true. We planted 2 years ago, and over the last 2 years we've had about 70 people get baptized, profess new faith in Christ. And you wouldn't have seen that in this community if people hadn't been called and pioneered and started something new. And so we truly believe in the multiplication of the church, and we're so excited because we're getting to be a part of helping plant another church already, and we're trying to send 50 people from our church and funds to be a part of it. And so we are so grateful to Transformation Ministries because it provides us with a tribe, a church family to support us, to encourage us, to train us. We have people we can call when we've got questions, or we're in a difficult spot, people who have more experience that we can reach out to and walk with us.
Yeah, I think it's one thing to believe in church planting and to think it's a great thing, but then to actually do it can feel very lonely and very isolating and very difficult. And so I think we can speak for us personally, just having the support of TM and the support of people that have gone before us, the support of people that know what we're dealing with and can speak into that and can ask us the right questions that really hit on, like, how are you actually doing and how is this going, and can can really get in the nitty-gritty with us and feel like, oh, they get it. It's not just a matter of like, they're asking how our life is. It's like, oh, how is the church plant? Like, how are these difficult things, or how is this going? And to be able to have that network of people where we can call on them and ask them questions, or they will call on us and be like, how are you doing? And so I think that's really important, because I think it's one thing to believe in it, it's one thing to think it's a great thing, but it's another thing to actually do it, and to feel that support is necessary.
About 15 months ago, our church's leadership formed a pastoral search team because we lost our beloved pastor, Jim Walden, who retired. And so the board came to me and essentially formed a team, and they told me, go find a new pastor. They didn't say how to do it. They just said, go find a new pastor. You're welcome to use any resources you want. Well, one of my first phone calls was to TM. After a few phone calls with some people, I got connected with Peter Torrey at TM, and he ended up becoming our coach, and it was just a wonderful experience. He was a tremendous help of helping me to be a good leader, and also just took us through training that was amazing, provided a TM Pastoral Search Team manual, which I referred to throughout the process, and really just was there every step of the way. Peter was just a class act through it all. You know, at times having to provide legal advice, at times providing leadership advice, dealing with the pastors and getting to know them, understanding the questions to ask. We have since found our next pastor, and we're getting ready for the candidate weekend right now. So, you know, Transformation Ministries has really been a great partner with our church over the years, to not only myself, but to the leadership of the church and really our entire congregation.
So I learned about Transformation Ministries as I was going through the interview process as we came here. This church had already been established with Transformation Ministries, and so when we were doing the interview, they kind of told me about the association, what they do, what they're a part of. It was kind of walking in blind as to what this was going to be all about. And the reality was, I've learned a bunch of great things in regards to their desire and their hope for planting churches, raising up leaders, to pour into existing pastors, to not let them be a silo on their own. And so the mentor groups has probably been the greatest thing that I've been a part of. Ty Guy over at South Shores and Ivan over in Santa Ana, they've just really kind of poured into me and loved on me, and senior pastors get senior pastors. And so it's just been great for us to talk about what's going on in our churches, what we're dealing with our staff, and how to continue just to serve the people in our church the best we can. Sounding boards, all of those things kind of flow from the mentor group, which has been just so helpful as I've been trying to acclimate to a new church and a new area that I've been a part of. I would say for those that are thinking about, is TM for me, is it for our church, is it for our people? I would say this, we can be silos in a world that is unfriendly, if you will. To have men and women that love you and care for you and want to see you succeed is something that you really can't put a price on. To allow us to be who we are, to fan the flame that allows us to kind of keep moving forward, we all need that. I mean, the Apostle Paul, he was constantly encouraging other churches and pouring into them, and we just have the benefit of seeing the letters that he wrote. And so a lot of what we see in those letters is a lot of what takes place for the receiver of the pastor that's a part of Transformation Ministries.